Hello everyone, welcome to Here We Go. In this video, let's talk about how to respond to this two-space approach to the 3-4 point. I covered this briefly in lesson 415 or 415, but I provided a different solution. So here, let's talk about the most simple response to the two-space approach. And that is actually the same with the large knights approach. And that is this diagonal move right here. So now what happens is that black is on the 4th line. So it is very difficult for black to play here and still hope to build a base here, right? Sometime down the line, not immediately, sometime down the line, white can play something like this. And black really doesn't have any territory here on the side. But even if black plays here, that's totally fine. White can take sente and play elsewhere. But normally, black wouldn't play on the left side. What black will do is to play this move, this shoulder hit, against white's number 4. Its goal is to keep white's low here on the 3rd line. So white cannot afford to play elsewhere now, because if white plays elsewhere, black can descend down here on the 3rd line. And now, as you can see, white's number 4 and 6 are really confined to the corner, and black immediately has influence and potential here on the upper side. So this is not okay for white. So what white must do is to crawl here on the 3rd line, which is a good move, right? It prevents black from gaining influence on the upper side, and white's 4, 6, and 8 almost has about 15 points, right? If it expands a little bit more. So it has a sizable corner territory that is completely alive, right? Black cannot invade the corner anymore. And now to finish the shape, black can play this little jump. And once again, white has sente in this shape. And that's really important and valuable. So what happens here is that black has stayed on top of white, right? White has a sizable territory, but black doesn't have either side sealed off. Because in the future, not immediately, please note, not immediately, because immediately white should play elsewhere on the corners. But in the future, if white wants to come into the upper side, it still has this small knight's move. With the left side, this small knight's move. So black doesn't have either side sealed off. It only has a little bit of potential here toward the center. The only good thing for black is that it doesn't fear any attack by white, right? Because it can escape to the left side and it can easily expand to the upper side. So black is very flexible and white cannot really attack black at this point. So overall, this simple joseki favors white. And if you're white in this situation, you should be pretty happy with this joseki. In lesson 415, I talked about this move, which is favored by AI over this diagonal move. But this might lead to more complicated variations when black plays here on the 3-3 point. By the way, this is a bad move for black, but it will lead to more complex variations like this. If you're slightly more advanced, you can remember this variation and know that this is good for white, right? White is extremely solid here, and once again, black doesn't really have either side sealed off, and white has sente. Or if black decides to escape, this is actually even worse for black because number 5 is completely disabled and white is just too strong on the outside. And black's territory is about 8 points. It's not that big. So this is also good for white. Anyway, back to our basic joseki. This is the takeaway from this lesson. I'll cover those other variations in detail later in this chapter. I don't know when, but hopefully eventually I'll get to it. This is our joseki for today. And now you know how to respond to your opponent's two-space approach to your 3-4 point. Good luck, and thank you for watching.